It's Alice King, your official Reddit baddie. I scroll through unhinged stories so you can sit back, relate a little, and enjoy the chaos. Am I the a-hole for predetermining my baby's? I mean, kinda. Isn't the most important thing that your kids are happy and healthy? You cannot imagine how much I hate when I see those gender reveal videos on TikTok and one of the parents are upset or the mother-in-law is jumping on the dad. To get to be a parent is a privilege, not an Amazon order. Sorry if the title isn't great, I had a hard time coming up with something that would make sense. Hopefully it does and it's not misleading. To me, this title means you have a preference what the sex should be of your kid. If that was your intention, the title you chose is perfect. Okay, to start, me, 27 female, and my husband, 28 male, have been married for 40 years. His parents, his mother specifically, and I have never had any problems, but we've never quite meshed or seen eye to eye. We've always got along and been civil. Our future family has been the talk for years. My husband will be the last of his siblings to have children. All of his siblings have at least one. It's been a running joke in the family that if our first happens to be a girl, she won't be accepted because everyone else had a boy for a firstborn. What is wrong with your husband's family? The joke has never sat quite right with me, but I've laughed it off because I don't want to start anything and maybe I'm just sensitive. There's nothing funny about that joke. It makes you uncomfortable. Hell, it makes me uncomfortable and this story isn't even about me or my kid. Fast forward to a few months ago when we started trying. It took about 3 months for me to get pregnant. We tracked my cycle and had scheduled spicy time for the best chance. Infertility runs in my family and my hubby and I agreed on a big family, so I've been worried about starting a family so late in the game. If you have infertility running in your family, being able to have a kid is a real gift. I'm so happy it worked out for you guys. And yeah, the sex really shouldn't matter. A baby is a baby. When I did get pregnant, we were overjoyed. We had all the typical couple conversations that came with having a baby, the excitement, names, nursery themes, gender predictions, etc. He talked about wanting a son first, so he could be the big strong leader for all his younger siblings and carry on the family name, a very big deal to him, instilled by his parents. I expressed my desire to have a little girl I could dress up and match with.
Here we go again.
It became a playful banter. He'd refer to the baby as son, and I would call the baby our daughter. I think the main issue is that you already made this a competition. Which gender you're gonna end up with? Who's gonna be right? Somebody definitely will be disappointed. About a week before our gender scan, I searched up all the old wife tales and made us a chart we could fill out together to see who would hypothetically win our little bet. It included the ring test, Chinese horoscope, heartbeat, cravings, etc. The results ended up being about 50-50 in the end, which made us even more excited to find out for certain at our scan. The following week, we went to our appointment and discovered that our baby was a girl. I don't want to hear any complaining from your husband or his family. We were both extremely excited. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Hubby was disappointed to lose but told me he was overjoyed to be raising a daughter by my side. Okay, period. I like your husband's reaction because he's honest, but he's not throwing a fit. So far, it seems like he's happy because he's gonna be a father. That night, we called our families to share the news. After calling his family, his mother asked to speak to him privately. I don't like that. Why couldn't she say what she wanted in front of you? Doesn't she think you're gonna hear from your husband what she said anyway? Why hide it? Why make a scene? I went to bed alone as their conversation carried on for well over an hour. So basically, your mother-in-law made your gender reveal about herself. Wonderful. The following morning, I woke up alone. There was a note on my husband's nightstand explaining that someone would be by the house to pick up his belongings later this evening. Huh? What just happened? Are we okay? I immediately tried to call him only to realize he had blocked my number. I then tried his mom. I never really understood how we can block our significant other's number. Can we maybe, just maybe, have an adult conversation instead? His mother picked up on the first ring. I'm not surprised at all. She was sitting next to the phone and waiting for your call. Before I had the chance to get a word in, she started chewing me out, calling me a manipulative B word. I asked her what I had done, and she told me I ruined my son's reputation with my inexcusable behaviors and tendencies.
What the hell are you talking about?
It always scares me when kids enmesh with their family. Like your husband still doesn't have the mind of his own. He still has mommy to manage his life and he's following every order. I let her finish her rant before kindly asking her what she was talking about. She told me the divorce papers were already written up and I wouldn't have the chance to tear apart the family like I had been intending to do all this time. I mean, I really hope that the divorce papers are ready because girl, you should run. You have a monster-in-law for sure, but your husband is a bigger issue. I again, slightly less kindly this time, asked her what she was talking about. To which she told me my husband would be leaving me because our child is a girl. Yeah, that's just crazy. I was gobsmacked. I am too, since the man is the one who determines what the baby's gender will be. I explained to her that it takes two to tango and there's no way to truly decide the gender of the baby, and if her or her son had a problem with the gender, it was his fault as it's his chromosome that determines the gender. But she had proved that I handpicked to have a girl. The only way you can handpick the gender if you have artificial insemination. Send your mother-in-law back to primary school and make her take Biology 101. Like I said before, we used the calendar to determine which days would be best for spicy time. Well, mother-in-law accused me of forcing him to do it with me on the specific day which the Chinese horoscope would point to girl. She also interrogated me on the position we used to conceive the baby, which I gave her a piece of my mind, told her that was none of her business, but she smugly informed me my husband had already told her and the position we use makes it 60% more likely to have a girl that way.
Ew.
If anyone currently trying for a girl, specifically doing cowgirl sometime in the middle of February, should do the trick every time apparently.
This is crazy.
She finished up by telling me that my clear preference for my family name was disgusting and she was glad to finally be rid of me and my manipulative ways before hanging up. Her enmeshed relationship with her son that I find disgusting, but I guess to each their own. I had no contact with my husband since and it's been over a month.
What?
He's blocked me on everything. I can't help but feel that this hasn't all been his choice, but then again, he's a grown-ass adult, so I can't imagine his mother controlling him like that. Honestly, it's way better it came out right now. At least you won't waste more time on him or his family. I've been staying with my sister since all went down. She says I can stay as long as I need, but I'm thinking I want to get my own place, maybe even a few states away. What do I do? Should I pack up and move on? Should I continue trying to contact my husband? Any advice would be appreciated. In this situation, I would probably want to stay close to some sort of family, maybe your sister or your parents even. I think you're going to need help with the baby, especially at the beginning. So I'm not saying moving away a couple of states is a bad idea. Maybe just not now. I don't think your husband worth your time anymore. You should spend all of your energy on yourself and the baby. Opie has some updates for us, so we're gonna see what's happened. Update: thank you all for all the love. It means so much to me right now. I'd also like to add that I've seen a few comments about my story being copied. It breaks my heart to think of anyone else having to go through something similar. My heart goes out to them. Also, I should have mentioned originally that I had a gut feeling to record a call with my mother-in-law, so I have all of that on hand if it's needed in the future.
So smart.
Perfect. Keep recording everything you have with her, your husband, or anyone else from his family. I am planning to try catching my husband on his way out of work sometime next week. I'd like to hear his side of the story. I cannot imagine anything that would explain him walking out on you like that, except maybe if you would have cheated on him. I've decided, however, that if there is any saving our relationship, I'll be changing my last name back to my maiden name, and our daughter will be taking my last name, or at the very least have a siphon name. Call me feminist or whatnot, but it will be non-negotiable. Girl, I'm with you. The fact that you're even willing to give him a second chance, you are a better person than I am. I'll also be requiring many boundaries between me and his mother, and she will not be in my child's life until she can find it in her to apologize to me sincerely and change her attitude towards us. You are really just asking for the bare minimum. I don't know. The fact that he just walked out on you guys like that, how you gonna ever trust him again? He also has to draw some boundaries with his mother if he wants this relationship to work again. So far, it doesn't even seem like he showed the slightest interest though. So girl, just be very, very careful. Second update. Wow, I honestly haven't been on Reddit at all since my last update because, well, growing a human is hard as it is, and then add my crazy life on top of it.
I'll figure it out.
But after getting hundreds of emails from Reddit today, I realized it must have been shared somewhere else to be blowing up like this. And now that there's so many of you, I figure I owe you all an update, so here it is. Hopefully I can get this all typed out in a way that makes sense. Even though it's been a few weeks since it's all went down, I'm still in shock and haven't been able to collect my thoughts. Let's just blame it on the pregnancy brain and pretend that my life isn't falling apart before my own eyes. I was able to catch my husband as he was leaving work one night and got his side of the story out of him like I had hoped. As suspected, he admitted that he was excited for a baby girl, and after speaking to his mom, she forced him to leave and block me. His mother already had the divorce paper ready to go.
Huh?
And he was all fine and dandy with that. Like, nobody could force me to do something I didn't want to. You cannot blame everything on his mother. I tried to tell him that we could fix this. We could raise our daughter together away from his mother. I know I sound naive for this, but I grew up in a household without a father figure, and I was hopeful my daughter could have a different home life experience than what I had, not to discredit my mother. Not having a father figure is better than a father who doesn't love you and treat you badly. She's a badass woman, and I hope I can be half of the woman she is for my daughter one day. Anyways, my husband had none of it. He said that he realized how conniving and manipulative and abusive I had been throughout our entire relationship, and he did want to actually go through with the divorce. Thus he confusing you with his mother? He said he had no problem giving me full custody of the thing that's growing inside of me. That's when I lost all hope. I have no problem leaving a man who is so easily brainwashed by his mother like that. I'll raise this baby alone. That's bad enough, but here's the real icing on the cake. There is more. I received a phone call from my soon-to-be ex-husband's brother's wife. We've always been quite close, and she's been my saving grace throughout my pregnancy, giving me all the tips for nausea, etc. She has 3 of her own, 2 boys and a girl. I guess you're only allowed to have girls in this family if it's not the firstborn. Anyways, she informed me over the phone that she overheard the conversation at weekly Sunday dinner that my mother-in-law and husband are trying to blindside me in court and take full custody.
Absolutely not.
Huh? Didn't he just said that he wants nothing to do with the kid? I was livid, full on seeing red. I called mother-in-law straight away and demanded to speak to my husband. All he had to say for himself was that he realized he didn't want any of his offspring to be raised by such a manipulative freak, and even though he doesn't actually want her, he's sure he can grow to love her again. Yeah, that is insane. I hope you will get full custody and you can move a few states away. I also hope you recorded every word he just said. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I know I have a good case for myself, but I'm terrified they win the battle and take everything from me. They won't. Just keep record the conversations you have with them. It brings tears to my eyes thinking about my daughter growing up somewhere where she isn't loved. Even if custody is split 50-50, I have no control over the lies they guaranteed to feed her. If they would try to lie on you, you're gonna have proof that it's not true. My emotions are going haywire trying to write all this out, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for all of the love and support you all have shown me and my baby girl. The internet can truly be an amazing place. Edit. adding that my brother-in-law and his wife are planning on leaving the family dynamic after seeing the way I've been treated.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Are you surprised?
They have a daughter of their own, and while she's been accepted as she wasn't the firstborn, they are very uncomfortable with the misogyny within the family. Brother-in-law is the firstborn, and I think the what-ifs are messing with his head. Good on him. I wouldn't want my kids growing up in a family like that either. Every kid should be loved and celebrated regardless of their gender. Also, had no idea I submitted this to a podcast subreddit. My original post kept getting taken down on MIDA hole, and my sister recommended I post it where I did. If somebody wants to send me a link to listen, I would be interested to hear it. Although please spare me the details if it's negative. I don't know if my heart can take it. Well, this was a very unique story for sure. Someone's leaving their wife and their unborn kid just like that. I don't think I ever seen anything like that before. But surprise, surprise, we have a comment from the dead. Let's see his point of view. I can already tell it's full of swearing, so good luck to me to make it PG-13. What the hell is wrong with you, Aspen? I loved you, and I loved our daughter. You paint me out such a villain, and none of these pea-brained people on the internet can see through them lies. Get out! Manipulation at its finest, says the guy who left his wife and made his mom let her know because he was just too busy blocking her. You were such a B-word, our whole goddamn lie of a relationship, and when we were trying to get pregnant, everything was about you. What do you mean? Were you the one who tried to get pregnant, grow a human, and then push it out from your vagina? I can't believe it took me so long to see every single sign. It's good that mommy was there to let you know. You were so obsessive over your stupid calendar, and we hardly ever used it. You always say you aren't in the mood, or we did it yesterday, I'm too tired, we can skip a day. It was never about me or my feelings, and then when you actually got pregnant, it became even more about you.
Well, yeah.
I hope this guy never gonna have a kid with anyone else and stay with his mommy forever. I'm not eating eggs anymore, they made me sick. I don't want to go to Sunday dinner, I'm not up to it tonight. Let's not get sushi for dinner because it's bad for the baby. My guy, those things are insane to blow up about. When you're pregnant, things can make you sick. And yes, sushi can be bad for the kid. I was so nice to you, Aspen. I literally dotted on you like Prince Charming and you never even recognized me. Yeah, sure, Prince Charming from hell. I can't believe you string me along all those years. F you and F the fetus. I'm sick of your games. I can't believe I found out about this post on a podcast my girlfriend listens to. You betray me 1 month until you lose it all like I did. See you in court, B-word. Wow, what a Prince Charming. Every woman dreams to have a man like this. Obviously, we are not surprised that he deleted his comment. Isn't it interesting though that he already has a new girlfriend? If I would have to guess, he had her for a while now, and that's why he was so eager to leave his wife. OP has one last update. Thank you so much for all of your support. I've been in contact with my lawyer about how best to proceed, and for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to give any more information at this point in time. But I've seen all your messages and I'm truly so grateful for all the advice and care being sent to our way. I have a very good lawyer working with me, and both me and baby are and will be safe through the coming months. Once again, thank you all so much for your kindness. It helped me feel somewhat sane through all of this and made me realize that I'm entitled to feel the way I'm feeling. You truly given me a community where people have my back and truly want what's best for me. I'll be logging off until things have settled and baby is born. Maybe I return for a final update at some point, but for now I'm focusing on my own health and the health of my baby as I prepare for the courtroom. That is absolutely understandable. I wish you and your baby the best. You've been through so much. I hope you're gonna get full custody. My pregnancy is being ignored because of gender. I'm pregnant with another boy and my sister-in-law is pregnant too, but she's pregnant with a girl. There hasn't been a girl born in the family in 45 years, and family members jokingly say there's a curse on the family. Now that my sister-in-law is pregnant with a girl, people's comments have been so insensitive and dismissive, and my pregnancy seems to be getting pushed to the side. Another crazy family. Wonderful. Interestingly here, they want girls. At each of my gender reveals, the family has acted very disappointed when I revealed the gender.
Come. Yeah.
My mother-in-law even cried at my current pregnancy's gender reveal and said she's losing hope she'll ever get a granddaughter. That is crazy behavior. Why do you care so much about your grandkids' gender? Just be happy you're gonna have them. And that's the hill I'm gonna die on. Others came up to me and said, I'm so sorry, maybe you can keep trying for a girl, even though I have said this is my last pregnancy. It makes me feeling guilty for having a boy, which I know is so stupid. It is. Please go low contact with the family. They don't deserve to be around your kids. At my sister's-in-law gender reveal, people broke down in happy tears saying things like, yes, the boy curse is finally broken. Thank goodness it's not another boy. Please don't be another boy, etc. The family group chat is always popping off about the fun things they get to do with a granddaughter, like going to Disney World, watch princess movies, etc.
Chloe, we're going to Disneyland!
There's never any mention of my son, and that's why they don't deserve to be around him. After ultrasounds and some appointments, I've sent updates that get ignored, whereas people will go crazy when my sister-in-law sends update and will say things like, thank God this precious girl is healthy. I changed my mind. You should go no contact with them. Lastly, my in-laws threw my sister-in-law a baby shower with over 100 people, whereas they have never thrown me one. I know this has come across like I'm jealous, and in some ways I am, but I'm mostly sad that my baby is treated like he is not as important because of his gender. Honestly, to me, this doesn't come across as someone who's being jealous. You are hurt because you and your baby are mistreated. Unfortunately, the only thing you could do is to be around people who loves you and appreciate you and your babies. Don't put yourself and your sons through this treatment. I'm sad that no one in the family checks up on me or seems to care that I'm pregnant, again because of his gender. Yes, it's very messed up, but I'm sure you can find people who will care. It was a good first step that you wrote your story on Reddit, because this is more common that you would know. Maybe you could also join to some mom groups and you could make new friends. I wish you the very best and to stay strong. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all, and see you in the next one.